All right, let's do this shit again. Hey, chinekele lulule. I look a hot mess, but I don't care because I know y'all love me the same. Today's video is going to be deep, okay? And if you're not deep, if you're not into anything deep, feel free to click off. I probably will not be editing this video because I don't care. I don't send. If you love me, if you fuck with me genuinely, you'll understand that, you know, the message is in the message. You get it. You either get it or you don't get it. It's just the way it is. Especially these deep videos, okay? And when the spirit tells you to come and prophesy, one day you have to prophesy. You get it or you don't get it. But I want to talk about sexuality. I want to talk about sexuality today from a much deeper perspective. One of the interesting thing about being human, in this realm, the illusion of it, it's playing out in front of me, and it's like watching a movie and being part of the movie, or like I describe, sleeping with my eyes open. It's interesting. It's interesting. It's annoying sometimes, eerie, but it's also interesting. But anyway, like I mentioned before, the human being exists in body, mind, and spirit. All three must come together in order for the human being to be complete. But in this realm, Chair, the people of this realm have reduced everything to just physicality, that everything is just physical, just physical. Think about this realm as I don't know, how do I describe it? Like uh, church. I don't know, should I say church? A church somewhere you go to, right? But in order for you to go into that place, you must wear an outfit. You must wear hazmat. Is it hazmat? Hazard suits. You must wear something. That's what our physicality is. It can only exist here. This is why Mother Nature has given it to you to borrow. And before you leave, Mother Nature takes it right back. The exact same thing as, when you're going into the church or a sacred place, you must wear the hazard suit and the mask and everything when you're leaving. They'll take it from you as well. But for some reason, people of this realm have reduced everything to just physicality. And that is creating so much issues. Now, granted, like I've always said, I feel like a lot of people in this place is not real. And I still maintain that. I feel like most of these people are AI. I know y'all think I'm crazy as shit, but I'm dead ass. Like a lot of people in this place is not real. But the reason why I still go hard is because I believe that there are travelers like me. Okay. Now I believe that there are travelers from different, realms and things like that. However, there is only one DNA that courses through us, all of us travelers. There are a few exceptions, Chad, and I'm going to be talking about those exceptions later on. Okay, um, to help you, remind you, as I remind me, to not get sucked into this world. The people of this world are just batshit crazy at best, but that's just the way the people of this world is. It's not bad. I shouldn't be saying batshit crazy. Chad, it is batshit crazy. It is what it is, Chad. It's not bad nor good. It's just the way they are. It's just the way they are. It's sort of like going from Nigeria to America. When you get to America, you see Americans being American, okay? It just seems weird to a Nigerian, but that's because that's how Americans are. They'll eat pizza, they'll eat burger. Nigerian is used to eating fufu, eating egusi. Uh, Pizza is not bad, burger is not bad, it's just how they are, They speak English with an American accent, that's how they are. Uh-huh. But it stands out it stands out as weird because you're not from there. That's not you're supposed to appreciate it. You can mimic, perform like them, but don't forget that you're not American. You're not from there. Same thing too with here. Okay, there's so much distraction in this fucking place that it's so easy to get lost. So easy. Everything here is shiny. Okay, and one of the reasons is because it's form. Okay, for a lot of travelers that come here, this is our first time having form. Is this thing even recording too? Make sure it's recorded because hey, yeah, my mouth is just running. I've done it before where I have recorded. My mouth is just running. The thing is just looking at me. We thank God. Yeah, I think for a lot of travelers in this realm, this is our first time occupying form. Okay, so it's exciting. It's new. It's everything is just like sometimes I'd be looking at myself in the mirror. So like, damn, this is This is something. It's dope. Eventually, this will be gone. This is not me. Okay, Uche is not real. The real is inside. Okay, but eventually, I will be separated from this. And if you've ever had a near death experience, which I have a couple of times, you know exactly what I'm talking about, where you become the real you. You see the real you being separated from the illusion of the body. It's also a reminder that that none of this place is real. But I want to talk about sexuality, Chad. I am a firm believer that sexuality has a huge direct correlationship with spirituality. Okay, I've always maintained that the first law or rule of sexual attraction is, or actually attraction in general, is that most people do not know why you're attracted to what you're attracted to. That's because you're calibrated for that thing. The one in you is attracted to the one in them, and you are coming together to form completion in honor of the realm, the polarity nature of this place, yin and yang. Okay, but because we live in this realm where everything is so physicalized, people pick their partners, whether it's sexual, romantic, friendship, and all kinds of ships, chair, based on physical alone. This is why you have so many marriages that are just broken, or they're still in the relationship, or just kasakwa. You know what I'm saying? They look good. Everybody looks Instagram ready, chair. You know what I'm saying? And if it makes you money, get your money. I'm not even if I not, but just be honest with yourself that there's nothing there. And there's a lot of good relationships out there where there's genuine love. Those ones used to tend to be more mellow. Okay, they're not too quick. One thing about this realm, chat, if you have something good going for you, you better shut the fuck up. Okay, don't let people know, because there's something in this realm. There's a foreign entity, the ego, that has been cast down from the heavens. That's a whole nother conversation that I've talked about before. Is looking to destroy. Its goal is to divide and conquer. So if you truly have something good going on for you in this realm, you better zip. Okay, so that's why they say intelligent people tend to talk less. That's also why they say empty barrels make the loudest noise. So the ones who are so braggadocious and very loud, yeah, ain't nothing going on. If you have to be on the internet to let us know how you and your husband and your wife and gonna are doing so well, girl, okay? Now I understand if that's the performance as to how y'all make money, get your coin. I'm not mad at you. But a lot of these relationships are not what they try to make it seem. That's because a lot of people are not calibrated. You're with people you're not calibrated for. Imagine the body, mind, and spirit. Imagine the body being the tip of the iceberg. Being in the ocean, you see a tip of the iceberg. Okay, it just looks like a little rock. But underneath that is the mind. It's huge. The mind, that's in the mind. The body is like this tiny, okay? But the mind is much, much, much bigger. So if you reduce a person just to the body, you miss the entirety of what that person is. And I think this is why a lot of relationships are just, water under the bridge. You don't know why your baby daddy's acting the way he's acting. You don't know why your baby mama is acting the way she's acting, because you're not meant to be together, okay? But your pains have brought you together, perpetuating your pain. And the more you keep denying your pain, you trigger. Abi, your pain will now graduate to suffering. Okay, I've broken down in the past the difference between pain and suffering. I don't want to make this video too long, but there's a difference between pain and suffering. Check out my old videos, Chad. Those ones don't get clicks and views because I'm not talking about homosexuality. We thank God. Hey, Shineke me. Perhaps the reason why your baby daddy is miserable and you're not able to connect with him is because he's actually his. Well, I don't. But yes, I believe in soulmate, and I also don't believe in soulmate. I'll do an episode later on. I'm gonna need my whiteboard chat to break it down as to why there's a soulmate and there's also no soulmate. I know I sound contradictory, but the reason why your baby dad is acting like that is because he was meant to be with a man, not you. The reason why she is acting the way she's acting is because she's meant to be with a woman, not you. Not necessarily a man, though. Maybe he's meant to be with another woman, not you. But he got with you because society told him that you're red bone and curvaceous and blah, blah, blah. Maybe the darker skinned woman is actually what he needs, but he missed it because of internalized racism, or homophobia or colorism. You get my point. The reason why I want to talk about this too, based on sexuality, is Okay, so let's talk about heterosexual, homosexual, and bisexual. Okay, so let's say homosexual, heterosexual, and bisexual. Which one? Wait. So homosexual, heterosexual, bisexual. Okay, I'm trying to remember. I've been eating my look at my goosey, so I'm tired. If I slur my word, because forgive me. That's also why I don't feel like editing this video because it'll be too much. But you get it or you don't get it. And I'm also being vulnerable, being blunt. You know what I'm saying? So um, yeah, if I missed anything, just give me grace. So homosexuals, heterosexuals, bisexual. I believe, this is just my opinion, okay? I could be wrong. I believe that most people are on the spectrum of bisexuality, most people. They just don't realize it yet, okay? Let's say like and I think not too many people. I think the minority of bisexuals are in that 50-50 mark, which is why it's rare for me to meet a bisexual. I've met a couple, but it's rare for me to meet a bisexual man or a woman who say that they are attracted to both men and women equally. That's rare. It's usually one or the other. Now, I mostly encounter bisexual men who claim that they prefer men than women. Sometimes I meet one that, that claim that they prefer women than men. And the reason is because, Chad, the reason is multifaceted. You see, the bisexual men that lean towards which one is homosexual again, I beg? The bisexual men that lean towards the homosexual, they're not looking for women. They're just open to women. They're not looking at all. What they're looking for is men because that's what they prefer. Their calibration is seeking completion with men. So that's what they're looking for. However, if they were to bump into a woman who is in calibration with them and she is, available and they're available and the lines, the stars and gonna align, is going down. But he was not looking for her. He wouldn't chase her like, it just is. She just happened to be here and she fine. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? It's up and it's gushing. It's a match in heaven, Chad. And as a result, these men that are leaning more so towards homosexuals, you're more likely to find them in gay spaces, gay clubs, gay bars, gay whatever, because they're looking for men. And gay is men. Conversely, these are the men who are closely in the proximity of heterosexuality. They're not looking for men, they're looking for women. Okay? This is why, I don't go to straight clubs, Chad. Like, I find it boring. When I do go out, I don't even go to clubs. But when I do go out, I go to the black spaces, black gay spaces, Chad. That's more exciting for me. So that's why I don't bump into these ones in a gay club because I would not bump into them in a gay club. They wouldn't be there because they're not looking for men. They would be in straight clubs. So they're not looking for men at all. They're looking for women. That's what they chase. It just happens that if, just like this other guy, if they bump into a man and this man is in a calibration that is in alignment with who they are, it's going down too. All he needs is confidentiality because, you know what I'm saying? And he's less likely to admit it. See, these bisexuals and in this end of things, closer to the homosexuals, are more likely to admit it, but these ones are less likely to admit it. Because to the bisexual on this end, that might actually be a plus for him. Could also be a negative, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Hopefully, I don't forget, Chad. See, my head is going. You people are seeing me thinking in real time, and I'm not even going to be editing this video. Who chair? Um, I might even say stuff. So these ones that are closer to the women, um, if they were to bump into a man that is in calibration with what they're looking for, it's going down. But it's just that they're less likely to admit it for a couple of reasons. Masculinity has been put on such a high pedestal, and every man, including some queers, but especially straight men, are doing everything to get onto it. So a man being with another man is a dig at him. So he's less likely to admit it. That's one reason. Another reason why he's less likely to admit it is because in his head, he is not gay. And he's right, he's not gay. He is actually bisexual. But unfortunately, within the black community, a lot of people too, Chad, but especially within the black community, there is no bisexuality. Most people don't believe in bisexuality. They just believe you're either gay or straight, which is unfortunate. That's so disrespectful because there's a lot of bisexuals out there. The reason why a lot of black people don't believe in bisexuality comes from a place of deep rooted pain, of homophobia, white supremacy. Like black people, we've been through so much shit. So it's you're either a real man or you're not a real man. That's just the way it is. So to them, you're either gay or straight. And to them, because they don't chase men, they're straight. And they believe it. Therefore, it is true for them. They're not chasing men. And it's true. Also, another thing too is the kind of men that these bisexuals go for in the gay community. Okay, there's a group of gay men that are very feminine, very flamboyant. It seems like nobody wants them, Chad. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Hey, I'm just being honest. It's just the way it is. They're loud, they're queeny, they're messy, they're just chill, chill, chill. Very flamboyant, very, like if you're walking, you can tell, oh, Chad, sis, there you go. I don't want to call them names, so those are the kind of gay men that these ones tend to go for because what they're actually attracted to is femininity. Okay, so these guys, bisexual guys, the ones who are closely related to heterosexuals, um, they wouldn't go to gay clubs because gay club is men who exude masculinity, who have beards, who have, the muscles and, what up, dude, that things like that. That doesn't turn them on at all. So, and because they're not attracted to that, to them, they're not gay at all. Now, if they're intelligent or aware enough or still enough or humble enough, they might admit to themselves, at least, hey, you know what? Yeah, I might be open to blah, 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 blah. But most of them just don't. And as a result, what am I even say? I'm tired. Ito. Going back to they had it behind the effeminate. You see, the Holy Ghost is downloaded, but Uchechukwu is a vessel. But anyway, going back to the effeminate gay men that nobody wants, it's unfortunate, but it's true. They have a reputation within the gay community that they're the rejects and blah blah blah. And unfortunately, I believe that a lot of reasons why these ones tend to be very miserable, very messy, and doing all these things is because they're not in calibration with who they really are or who they need to be. So a lot of times, your baby daddy, I know this sounds crazy, sis, your baby daddy is miserable because he's meant to be with one of these queens out here, okay? He might not know it, and he might not know it either. But because the society we live in has just, divided everybody, you better be in your lane, the whites with the whites, and even the white self, there's levels of whiteness. The blacks of the blacks, the tall 6 feet people with the tall six, because you don't ever look at the Instagram pages, Chad. You don't ever see, the good looking people always hang out with the good looking people, okay? The ones with the bad bees always hang out with the bad bees. The light skins always hang out with the light skins, Chad. The good hairs. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody is very cliquish because it's just physicalized. So and especially as black people, especially black people in America, because the group of black people that live in America have had the least opportunity to find themselves. Being born and raised in a capitalistic nation that was created intentionally not for you, but to suppress you, create systems to suppress you, keep capitalizing off of you. Like there's so much pain within the black community, and no one is actually. Everybody just takes from us, okay? Especially in America, everybody just takes from us, and no one is. They see our pain, they take advantage of our pain, capitalize off of our pain, and there's just so much pain, and we perpetuate our own demise because no one is talking about these things. They're very, very, very real. Let me think about the next thing I'm about to say, Chad. Oh, okay. Going back to this thing. The guy. The bisexual dude. Okay, I'm gonna come back to the bisexual dude that's closer to the homosexual. Let's go to the bisexual dude that is closer to the heterosexual. Um, he might not be quick to admit that he has some type of attraction to men. He might not be. And I understand, okay? Especially as a black man. We're very homophobic. It's just the way it is. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. He might not be quick to admit it to his homeboys because a lot of these relationships are ridiculous as shit. Everybody just wearing masks. Yeah, what up, bro? Yeah, what up, bro? Ain't nobody. There's nothing reasonable being transpired. It's just vapid, which is fine, though, as long as you're being honest with yourself. Don't confuse those with real relationship because you beat a boo with a fool. Okay, so he might not necessarily admit it to his friends, his groups and things like that. So he does not lose what's it called? Lose his man card, according to Terrence Howard man card. That man card is very important to the straights, chair, which is fine. But to me, the one that tears me apart is when you don't feel comfortable sharing it with your woman. That tears me apart because to me, the point of a relationship, a partnership, A romantic relationship is both of you become one plus one equal one. You help each other, you grow with each other. So if you're not able to be yourself in full honesty, vulnerability, nakedness with your so-called partner, then what the fuck are y'all doing? What's the point of this relationship? If you just want sex, then be honest about that, be single, and just be a hoe. That makes more sense. But if you're saying that you want partnership, you want transparency, you don't feel comfortable being yourself and sharing that part of you with your partner, then what's the point of the relationship? And sometimes he wants to, but these women would judge them. Okay, and sorry ladies, I have to be honest, there's a lot of homophobia in the black community. A lot of black people are very homophobic. It's very true collectively, and I think a lot of this is because of how much we've been burned by white supremacy. We're at the bottom of the barrel according to white supremacy. But I have noticed that black women are way more, on average, way more homophobic and biphobic. Actually, more biphobic than homophobic than men. Most men, they just don't want to do gay shit. Like, I don't want to hear that gay shit. Yeah, just keep that shit right there. That's it. But a lot of women, I've noticed this. A lot of women don't give. Maybe gay, they might be tolerant, but bisexual men, I have heard some really disrespectful things from a lot of black women about bisexual men. And that is so unfortunate because what you're doing is you're creating this homophobia, the struggle culture where a lot of these men who are actually bisexual are not being honest with you. And I can't blame them. Why would he be honest with you? They're not chasing men. They're not. They're the ones who are. They are the ones who are chasing men. Okay. Those ones are the ones who are more closely to that 50-50 um, margin, or you know what I'm saying. And I promise I'm sober. I'm just tired. It's been a long day. But the ones who are closer to the heterosexuals, they're not chasing men. They're interested in women. But if he was to be honest with you, you would discriminate against him, talk down on him and blah blah blah. And I understand because I think a lot of this is because of how women have been conditioned to believe that you're nothing unless you have a man's stamp of approval. So from cradle, a lot of women were raised to, unless you're married, you're nothing. So that's why the day a woman gets proposed to, that's the day, a man chooses her. And her wedding day is the day she finally gets validated. So for a woman, especially a black woman, because a black woman, especially even more so a dark skinned black woman, like she's all the one about him. So for her, the only way she feels like she can be complete is if a real man validates her. And if this man is also with another man, then to her it's not a real man, meaning that she is not complete yet. This shit goes deep. I give a lot of grace, because we're black people. I'm also black with you, you know what I'm saying? No other race will break this shit down like I am, okay? If anything, they'll see the emptiness and they'll take advantage because they see what I see. Or the ones who see what I see, they might just not have the audacity to do it because they know that most people confuse it and call them racist and misogynist. You know how it is on the internet chat. When you speak truth to power, everybody tries to drag you in. I think that's why God made me because I'm black, I'm American, I'm Nigerian, I'm queer, I'm all these things, and I'm the perfect person for all this shit. Looking a hot mess. So you get what I'm saying? There's and then the bisexual ones on this end of spectrum of the spectrum, they struggle too. The bisexual, they just don't get any. They don't get catch a break. They struggle because a lot of times, when it comes to hookup, a lot of gay men will be ready to hook up with you as a bisexual man because to them, there's a lot of gay men who still have a thing for heteros, which is unfortunate. If they're gay people, if you still have a thing for a heterosexual man, that is indicative of your own emptiness. You need to keep working on yourself. The more you work on yourself, the more you see that there's nothing there for you for a straight man. There's no pool whatsoever. But for I'll give grace and say that there's a lot of pain within all our communities. So yes, there is a lot of gay men who have a thing for straight men. So for them, with a bisexual man, hooking up with a bisexual man, that's the closest they can get to a heterosexual man. So it's a fetish for them. And if the bisexual man is about that hookup life, not a hookup life, not a problem. Especially if you're very masculine presenting, not a problem. But it gets tricky when the bisexual man actually wants to settle down and they start facing rejection. A lot of times, gay men will turn you down. If you're bisexual and you want to be in a relationship, especially if you're African, and I can't blame them, okay? A lot of times, when a bisexual African man wants to date a gay man, The gay man will turn him down because why the fuck would I waste my time with you, knowing that more than likely you're going to eventually marry a woman? So that doesn't make any sense. A lot of the gay men also want relationship. They want longevity. They want to have a whole wedding, marriage, have kids. You know, the whole white picket fence shit. You know, they want that, and they deserve to want that. So they don't want to invest in that. And the bisexual man feels lonely. Um, and the same thing too with the women. A lot of times, a lot of women would um, deny you access to a relationship because you are bisexual, because you don't. It, it's a lot, Chad. It's a lot. I think, yeah, I get the point. The point I'm trying to say is, and I'm getting hot. I hope I don't pass out. The point I'm trying to say is, there's more to us than the physical bullshit. Okay, I know a majority of people, and the algorithm wouldn't even take this. I'm sure wouldn't take this video. It's probably too long and too esoteric and too deep. So the algorithm suppresses shit like this. I understand. One or two of y'all that watched the video to the end, shout out to you. And I know most of the people of this world would think I'm talking nonsense, but the one or two of you who will watch this video and see the sense of what I'm saying, the point is don't get too lost and sucked into this world. This place, it's an illusion. It's not a real place, okay? The human being is made complete in body, mind, and spirit. Your body is just your outfit. Okay, you can play with the body, appreciate the body. I'll be doing all kinds of shit on my, with my body too, Chad. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to people who on my Instagram, my personal Instagram. It's fun. It's performance. It's fun. This is Uche's time to express himself, and I see some of y'all doing the exact same thing too, in your own way. It is natural, and I'm able to connect with it because it's creativity. But at the end of the day, that's not the real you. The real you is formless. It's within. Okay, you have to be still enough to know who you are, and then you can find people who are calibrated for you, and you can attract to yourself, and they attract themselves, and you can be 1 + 1 = 1, whether it's sexually or relationship or partnership, business, all of those things. Family is already done for you. Your mom and your dad, your karma's already picked that for you. Those are perfect parents for you, even though a lot of us don't like our parents, Chad. Siblings and things like that, those are already done for you. But these are the people you have to kind of play a little bit of a game, okay? The way I like to think of it is, if I was just in my head, if it feels harder, heavier, yeah, if it feels heavier with someone, that's not for you. If it feels lighter, that's for you. Okay, it's just a lot of us, we're not being honest with ourselves when someone is feeling heavy because we make excuses. Okay, well, that's my mother, that's my father, that's my brother. Well, we've known each other for a long time. That's my childhood best friend. You just known each other for a long time. There's nothing really there, okay? And be honest with yourself. Does it feel heavier? Does it feel lighter? The real person, the real being, the real entity is formless. And when we start understanding that, a lot of things will start shifting, and we will stop finding ourselves stuck in the wrong relationships. Because unfortunately, even with straight people, especially with straight people, kids are born into this fuck shit. There's a lot of pain in our community, our communities that we should be healing, and bringing a child into this shit, you're just giving that kid a head start at failure. Granted, they'll be okay, because God's got all of us, Chad. That's all I wanted to say. Let me know. I know this video is all kinds of jacked up. I hope you were able to understand what I'm saying, and I'm hot. But let me know if you want me to do more impromptu videos like this, where I'm going to be just raw and blunt like this. No editing, no makeup, no wig, no nothing, Chad. It just, as it comes out, you receive it. You just receive it. I probably will do more videos like this because this is when the Holy Ghost is downloading. Because one thing about the Holy Ghost, if the Holy Ghost tells you to do and you don't do, it would get back. I can't say. But anyway, that's it. Uche, peace and love. Uche.